Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Planet Coaster. This is just going to be a quick little part, but I'm going to talk about something that I've noticed, and something that I think that they should definitely add. I know a lot of people have said this already, but I'm just going to add my opinion of it. They really need to add height indicators on this, because I was just going around the park, and I was looking at this right here. This right here is what, well, I thought I was building a Giga Coaster, which is a roller coaster above 300 feet, but below 400. And I checked the results, and the biggest drop is 62 meters. Now I realize that there's a part that it doesn't completely touch the ground, but when I put that into Google to put that into Imperial, I got 203 feet and 42 or 41 inches, and that means that this roller coaster is roughly the height of Accelerator at Knott's, and it's about the size of a Raging Bull at Six Flags Great America, which means that, I mean, it's kind of astonishing that this ride is able to keep up the speed through most of this. And even more impressive that it even finishes the section after here, although I did have to keep it pretty low to the ground. Moving on from that, this coaster right here, I believe the biggest drop is 57 meters, which is 187 feet. Yeah, which is pretty cool because Viper is, I think it's like 188 feet or something. So that right there is actually pretty accurate. This one I actually did build properly, like just by guessing the height. Now, this coaster right here, if I were to look at it and guess the height, I would say, oh, that's about 127 to 130 feet, like 120 to 130. And that's not the case. If you look at it, it is, the biggest drop is 32 meters. Again, it doesn't completely go down all the way, but it gets pretty close. It ends up being about 104 feet, so it's roughly the size of a Batman the Ride. It does a lot more than a Batman the Ride, but it's roughly the same height as one. And then this right here, I was like, well, this is probably like 90 feet. I actually have not checked this one, so this should be interesting. Let's see. It is, the biggest drop is 24 meters, and this one does get really, really close to the ground. So 24 meters. It's 78 feet. It would be the smallest of all the stand-up, the B&M stand-up coasters. So yeah, it's really, really easy to get kind of thrown off by the like scale of things when you're building a ride. Like, from the ground, like if I get myself into guessed height, which is about here, like this roller coaster looks utterly this roller coaster looks utterly massive, but in reality it's not that tall, and I don't know if the game's like height is inaccurate or what, but I mean, I don't feel like it is, considering that in building, if you go to a wall piece and you select the 4 meter one, 4 meters is, I'm sorry, I'm really, really bad with metric. It's 13 feet. 13 feet is way taller than any of these people. So if you were to add like a 2 meter one, I believe that's about, what, 5 feet, 6 foot? 2 meters, yeah, 6.5 feet. So, I mean, that seems okay. I mean, that's taller than all these people, than the 1 meter one, which I'm assuming is 3 feet. Yeah, 3.28 feet. That's going to be shorter than most people and about the size of the kids. If I can find a kid. Yeah, it's about the same size. So, I mean, that seems okay. Like, I don't think that the game's scaling is necessarily off. It just, like, I don't know, maybe it's just hard to get a proper scale on things in this game, like, and I feel like they just really, really need to, like, they have to be working on it. There's no way that they're not working on this feature, because it's just so important to to building anything. Like, every roller coaster game that I've ever played, actually no, that's not true. I don't think that No Limits had a height indicator on it, but I mean, irregardless, like you pretty much just have to eyeball everything. Like in RCT, like 1, 2, and 3, if you built something at one height and the height indicator said it was lower than it, there's a, like, more than likely it would clear that element. And I mean, I'm doing my best to build each element lower than the next, or like the one before it, but like I don't know the height difference between that element right there and that 0G roll. So I mean, it does clear just fine. It's not a problem. Right, it's not a problem for me right now, but it could be a problem for other people, like, that aren't as good at eyeballing things. But like, what I'm getting at is that, like, they just need to add it. I'm gonna have to redo this entire roller coaster because it's not 300 feet, and I could have gotten a whole bunch of the 4-meter walls, stacked them all up next to the lift hill to figure out how high it's gonna be. But that's honestly such a waste of time. That's doing more work than you should have to. So come on, Frontier, just go ahead and give us height indicators. You're already measuring for height. It shows up in the test results. So please, just give us that. And that's going to be it for this little bonus video. This is kind of like a rant / me thinking about things / noticing things. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time where I'll actually do a real proper part. Thank you, and goodbye.